Welcome to day 7 of my video challenge. It has now been 1 week, which is really exciting. And today's perspective and topic is something that I think will be really useful to you. It's been something that has been useful to me that I've been learning and practicing over the last couple of years. And it's the difference between not only choice and decision, and a lot of explanation on that, but also the difference between fantasy and belief. And that all ties together. And let's first look at choice versus decision. And this is a good topic if we want to look at a simple way of getting more of the things that we want. So, okay, a decision is something that you're making based on information. So when you're making a decision, you're like, I'm doing this because of that, or I don't want this, or I want that, or I think that if I do this, this will happen, so I'm not going to do that. And the decisions are all about rationalization and all about the story. And something happens with decisions, and that is, there is no question of what you want in a decision. It's only about what works, what's right, what's this, what's that. And in decision making and storytelling, what happens is stories start to connect to other stories, and we start to believe that things are true and limits are there that really aren't there, just because in our way of decision making and storytelling we start to tie things together that don't necessarily exist that way. And that's why we have to get to a place of choice. Choice is, what do I want? See, in decisions we say I can't because of this, I can because of that, da, 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 da. When we're actually making a choice, it's not about the circumstances. What do I want? What's important to me? And then when we know what's important to ourselves, we ask questions a little bit differently. It's, how could I go about getting it? What are some steps that I could take? And thoroughly thinking those things through, and what you could do and what it would actually take. Asking the questions. See, when we make decisions, we take a lot of assumptions into hand, and we don't think things through as much. Oh, so-and-so said so, so I did it. And in decision making, we tend to take our actions very lightly, and we don't really become present in what we're doing, why we're doing it, the repercussions of it. Is it really getting us what we want? And in that little bit of thought that it takes to be present and make choices that make us feel a little bit better at the end of the day. And also get us to the things that we want, living the life that we want to be living by making good choices. So the way that we make good choices is we start to pay a little bit more attention by knowing what it is that we want. How on earth can you expect to get what you want if you don't know what it is? And we're not just talking money or this vacation. Like, what do you want out of life? Like, one day this thing's gonna end. What do you want out of it? What do you want to do while you're here? What do you want to learn? Take away all the possibilities. Give yourself a chance. Open up to what's possible, because that's where you get from fantasy to belief. You see, most of us live in a fantasy world. I want to retire and travel. I want to do this. I want to be rich. But there's no real story or there's no real line where you see yourself getting there. Not that you need a plan. Actually, it's about seeing that you can do it and then letting go of the idea of how. Like, okay, you might need to play out exactly what's possible, so you feel like you can travel the world or do whatever it is that you want to do. But then you've got to let go of exactly how it is that you think it's going to happen and let the magic happen. Now, with fantasy, usually it's like, oh, someday, one day, later, and we don't actually have any idea how that thing is going to become a reality. What we actually do is we expect that one day things are just going to be different. And all of a sudden the thing that we want is going to just be there. And it's not about going and working harder and harder and harder, because when you just know where you're going, there's simple decisions, there's a simple way, there's an equitable way to exchange and know what it is that you want. For example, if you know that you want to travel, if you know that you want to live in a beach destination, if you know you want to spend more time raising your children, instead of just making the decision that you're not going to because of all these things you're afraid of missing out on, look for what is out there. What options, what opportunities, what choices. I mean, play with it. It doesn't, and that's the balance sensitivity. It doesn't hurt you to look at it. You don't have to make a decision because you look at it, but you do in a way because you open yourself up to the reality, so I understand that. But I just wanted to share with you what's helped me make more choices that I want to make, like being able to do lots of writing and creation and doing these things consistently and treating myself health-wise the way that I want to, and some of the other choices that have been important to feel good about my life and the ones that I'll use moving forward. So I hope that was helpful to you. You have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow for day 8.